Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's going to be a quick little video here. Got a few little oddball things to do around the place. Figured I'd bring y'all along. Maybe you might be interested. After this video, I promise, we're going to get back to that trail build. Just kind of run out of time these last couple of days with some oddball chores and errands to run. So like I said, we're going to knock a few small things out that need to get done. Then we'll get back to trail building. You know, I realized I haven't given an update in quite a while on the little garden. It's been kind of interesting. As you can see, things were going quite well, but some things are not. There's still some beans that look really nice and green. They're blooming out. Some peas, not doing so well. Okra, not doing quite so well. Squash and zucchini, mixed results. Plants don't look good, but it was trying to start putting on some squash. Got some zucchinis and stuff going on in there. Well, that's squash, but there's zucchinis going on in there. The cabbages are looking great. I just put some cauliflower in random open holes in here. The lettuce is looking really good. And this is the main reason I want this little small side garden is next year we'll load it up with cauliflower, broccoli, and lettuce because they always seem to do so well in there. So it's time for us to start picking some lettuce, making some salads. This would have done better and was doing great, but it's just so odd to tell y'all that this morning was our fourth frost of November. I don't remember ever having 4 frosts in November, so I keep saying it and hopefully I'm not jinxing it. We may be going to have us a real serious winter. Now keep in mind these were extremely light frost, hardly any on the grass, just in patches. A lot of frost on vehicles, which is to be expected, but nevertheless, these plants are not designed for 4 frost already this month, so that's why a lot of these leaves have started getting frost burnt, and the plants just aren't responding well. Now there's certain types of plants like, you know, again, the lettuce and cabbage that love that. They do well. So that's odd. It's going to be an interesting winter. You can see why I'm running around like mad getting firewood up. It's been chilly most nights, and we haven't even got into December, January, or February is usually our coldest month, so it's gonna be interesting. But hey, it's Florida, you know how that goes. It can be cold the next 2 months and then 90 degrees Christmas Day. I've seen it many times. All right, so figured give you a little update on that. We're gonna get some vegetables out of it, no doubt, but I got a couple more little oddball items to go knock out. Figure I'd talk to y'all for a minute while I'm letting the old Ranger warm up. Keep in mind, I've been meaning to mention this a lot before. I may talk about, hey, the frost this morning, the cold front coming through day tomorrow, and especially if you live locally, it may be 80 degrees that day and you're going, man, the cold front was 3 days ago. That's the way these videos work, you know. Today might be a Thursday to me, but it might be a Monday to you. You know, sometimes I have to take a couple days to get enough video footage to edit a video. Plus it takes a few hours to edit a video a lot of times, you know, to get all the footage together, then the upload time. So sometimes it's a few days later before I get a video up. So thought I'd mention that because I know sometimes it may seem odd, especially as much as I talk about cold fronts, and you know, everybody knows when a cold front comes through, so I might be kind of late, but that's just the way these videos go. But the reason I'm cranking this up, I'm real curious. Since I started that trail, you know, I mentioned in that video, I wouldn't be surprised if deer start using that trail more because it's there now. They don't tend to spook them, you know, when you do new stuff like that. So I've got a camera in it. I want to check that. I also found a very fresh scrape near the shooting house that's being worked pretty hard. So I moved that one camera that was in this field over to there. I didn't carry y'all along for that process, but I got it set up on that scrape, so I want to see what's going on there. So let's go check those out. All right. Here's this one scrape, just to give you an idea. There's the shooting house over there. I was walking in here yesterday because I see deer coming in and out of here all the time, and eventually this is where one part of my trail is going to come out. This is about where that middle figure eight's at, but apparently there's a lot of acorns dropping in here, and I have some white oak trees that usually produce acorns in here too. That's probably what they're eating. But nevertheless, I was going to walk in here to put a camera up on the oak trees, and I stumbled across this scrape right here. I mean, it's nothing that impressive, but other than these couple of leaves I seen it today, looks like this buck's been keeping it really clean. So it's one of the last few active scrapes I've found. Sadly, all the bucks I was getting on camera have disappeared. Looks like that one doe that they chased for 3 to 4 nights on the property, she's obviously done, not attracting them anymore. But I do have a lot of does on the property. Maybe one of them will come back in and bring some more bucks back. But I want to see what's making this scrape right here. Might be a little guy, might be a decent one. As you can see, I put this camera up on the tree over here. So let me pull the card real quick. Now this camera hasn't even been up 24 hours, so I'm not expecting much, but let's check it out. Tell y'all what, while I'm checking these pictures out, I want to show y'all something. I had a real interesting morning in the stand again today. Turkeys are just coming out of the woodwork. No big gobblers or nothing, but they're just giving me a show every day. They were cutting, yelping, purring, doing everything this morning, and it caught the attention of a couple young jakes, so check this show out. So what y'all think about that? The last 2 days, these turkeys have been giving me a heck of a show. I guess they think it's springtime. I'll have hens coming in the field, cutting, purring, yelping, going crazy. Another group will come in the field, they'll meet each other, they'll go crazy. And then like you seen this morning, those 2 jakes come in the field and they decided they were gonna have their way with the ladies, run them around for a while, bowed up, you know, just doing some strutting. So it was a pretty neat show, kind of getting me in the mood for springtime. I just need to see some big gobblers. Right now it's just the little guys, but that's okay. It's still a joy to watch them. Well, I just checked the camera. Again, it hasn't even been up 24 hours. Looks like a lot of does, turkeys, and the only thing I seen in the scrape was a raccoon. I don't know why he's in the scrape, but he was digging around in it, so that's interesting. No bucks. On to the next camera. Here we are at the entrance of the trail, so I'm kind of curious about this one. I had this camera going a couple days now. I'll turn it off and on as I'm in here working, but there should be a decent amount of pictures to let me know if I've got the same amount of traffic, if I've spooked the deer, or if even more of them's using it now. So let's check that one out. Well, I'll admit, a little less activity than normal. However, 5 different does at once come through here, so we'll see what happens. They'll get used to it, no doubt in my mind. Well, here we are. One reason I want to come back here, been showing y'all these fatwood lightered stumps, and I pushed this one up with a tractor while I was back here working the other day, and I'm getting kind of low on lightered and need some more because we've been burning fires every night. Y'all could see that, just how hard and compact those fibers are. They're just impregnated with that resin. And like I said in that last video, man, it smells so strong. It smells good though to me. But once you get just that very tip lit, this stuff takes off. So it's a great way to start a fire or keep a fire going. So I need to load up some of this in the Ranger. Well, that's not a bad haul for just a few seconds of my time. That's a lot of lighter. That'll get me through quite a few fires. That's off of one stump. And as you can see, this entire thing right here is still more lighter. I just can't get it out. I'll have to get the tractor back here and finish pushing that up. Plus there's more down here. Another nice piece right there. Another piece back there. So I can do a lot of fires off this one stump. Plus when I look out there, there's another big stump that I hadn't noticed. And it's all spread throughout here. There's a couple real big pieces over here that I've already showed y'all that I got to get back in and take care of. And you can see we're back where I just cut all that firewood. There's that stump that I flipped over so I can get access into all that wood that I cut. So I've got one more tree blown down up here. Actually, I want to take a look at it and see if it's got any good firewood in it. And this is the end of the trail and where I'm about to get right back started carrying it through the woods. But it's going to go right by that one big root ball if y'all can see it. Sadly, this is another really large oak. Not as big as that last one, but pretty large, really long and straight. It actually feels relatively solid. Looks a little worse on the outside than the other one did, but I don't know. Looks can be deceiving, so I've been learning. I think we're gonna have to hurry up and get the trail busted in here, and we might be cutting this one up as well. If I get this cut up, I'm set for firewood for quite a long time. Well, I have a gentleman and his son, and his son's name's Zach. And he tells me that they watch this show religiously. And thank y'all so much for watching the show. And he said Zach has been just absolutely wondering, did I ever get my carpet put in the shooting house? Well, Zach, yes, kind of. I went up getting a really nice rug put in here, and it fits perfect. It's an indoor-outdoor rug, so I can roll it up, take it outside, sweep it out. It's filthy right now because I've been in here hunting quite a few days. But the nice thing is, I can now roll around in this chair, and it's so much quieter than it was whenever I was just rolling around on wood floor. So it makes a heck of a difference just having a little piece of carpet down here. I could always insulate underneath, or like somebody else mentioned, a great idea putting those rubber horse stall mats in here. That would probably make it extremely quiet. But I've done hunted out of here several mornings and had deer, turkey, everything right beside me, and roll around, readjusting front of the heater. No noise, nothing that bothered them at least. So this rug wound up fitting perfect. Good old Amazon hooked me up again. So Zach, you don't have to worry no more. I have got my rug in here. The shooting house is done. It's nice and quiet. I have been enjoying the heater. I never thought I would enjoy luxury like this, but man, I'm telling you, when you're watching the trees blow, seeing frost on the ground and you're in here nice and toasty, it spoiled me. It has really spoiled me. Alright, well, last chore that I need to knock out. My feeder rope broke the other day. It's got an outside casing on it. And as I was lifting it up, it broke. So I've got a broken rope up there in that. So I do not want my feeder piling up to the ground. So I bought me a new rope that's rated to hold a lot more than that. Hopefully that means it'll last longer. And I've got to get this down and figure out how to change this rope out. Well, it is done. Finally. Man, you ever notice how those small things in life you think will take a few minutes can sometimes take 30, 40, 45 minutes? Yeah, this was one of those. Turns out I bought just a slightly too large of a size rope, and this is a double pulley system, and I could not get it, just try as I might, could not get it to go through both sets of pulleys. You know, it's supposed to make a double loop around. The rope was just too thick and binding up, so I've got it looped through one time, and it's still real easy to lift up. This is designed to lift a deer, so a little light feeder's no problem. But that's my fault. Just bought a little bit too large of a rope, but it's going to work just like it is. Speaking of things like that, there ain't no point in getting frustrated. I am so thankful to be off of work today. It is a beautiful day. Got to ride around in the woods, pick up some lighter. I just wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm assuming y'all that have joined the channel, and this has been our biggest month to date, so thank y'all all that's joined. Hopefully you enjoy the videos. I try to put my heart and soul into them and edit them to where they'll be somewhat enjoyable watching chores. I know that's a joke. Tiffany laughs about that sometimes. You know, my husband works all day, does chores, and then comes home and watches chores on YouTube. I don't know why, but yeah, I do. I'm guilty. Obviously, some of y'all are, or you wouldn't join the channel. So I try to make them as interesting as I can. Different camera angles, drone footage, music. So hopefully you enjoy it, and I'm assuming you are. Like I said, you wouldn't have subscribed. So thank you to all of y'all that subscribed this month. Like I said, it's been our biggest month yet. Views are through the roof. Watch hours are up. So thank y'all for that. I'm going to try to do a whole lot more of this in the future. I can't promise every video is going to be some sort of cinematic production with drone footage, and sometimes I just need to do quick little errands like this around the place and maybe not have drone footage and dramatic music. So hopefully y'all understand that, but I'll get a feel for what y'all like to see, and like I said, hopefully you've enjoyed it up to this point. Again, if you're just joining, this channel is going to be about things just like this: working food plots, cutting trails through the woods, just enjoying our property. You know, we've already got a pasture planted coming up in the future. We're going to put either cows or goats out there, we're not sure, and we're also going to have a couple of horses. So we'll be doing a horse barn, and Tiffany's wanting to get more involved in the channel. I can start to see her interest peaked a little, so hopefully she'll have some horse footage to show y'all in the future. We've still got a house to build, fencing to put up. So I've always been cautious on using the word homestead because so many people have their vision of what that is, and to a lot of people this will not be a homestead. We're not going to survive strictly off of this property, but what we do expect it to do is give us payment back as far as firewood, meat off the property, vegetables whenever we start growing our garden, and just enjoyment. A lot of people forget that enjoyment is worth a lot of money. A lot of people pay a pile of money to go out, but I get just as much or more enjoyment doing what I'm doing today. Like I said, birds chirping, it's a beautiful sky, weather feels great. This is enjoyable to me. This is relaxing. You know, I wouldn't have it any other way. So if you're dreaming about something like this in the future, I know I'm rambling on here, but I spend a lot of time on YouTube watching a lot of channels do exactly what I'm doing, because we didn't always have this property and I used to dream about it, and I know some of y'all are doing that as well. We've talked in some of the comments. Never quit dreaming. If you want to own a piece of property like this, I'll be the first to tell you, it is hard work. It is really hard work, but it's so enjoyable at the end of the day to have dirt under your fingernails or some sore muscles. It's hard to describe that feeling unless you've lived it. To me, I enjoy this far more than I would a quarter-acre lot in the city with paying everybody to do everything for me. And no offense, if you do that, that's perfectly fine. This is just how I choose to live, and the satisfaction at the end of the day of a hard day's work, like I said, you just can't put a price on that. So if you're thinking about owning a piece of land like this, hopefully you can live vicariously through me. I'm gonna have a lot more videos out, and keep saving, keep dreaming, whatever it is you're doing, and I hope you get that piece of property down the road. Thank y'all for watching.